So yeah, about the marksmans, I don't know how the game can actually change this troop in something way more better, because mages, yeah, we was complaining about the mages, but at the end of the day, they was having a very far range. So if you put some good heroes, something that happened with Yun Ming, you're going to be, how to say it, able to perform very nice on the battlefield. Till the marksmans, even if you put a very good hero there, they're still going to have their medium range, and I think this is what right now is a bad thing over the marksmans and the marksmans players. And no joke, I hear a lot of people on my chat, on my stream, under my videos, in my Discord, asking me, yo Burgas, I'm marksman main, I want to switch to mages, can you tell me what to do, how to do this transition from marksman main to mages? Because there was a huge hype for the marksmans. On the season 1 was host Kinara, very solid combo by the way. In the season 2 was having Sindri and Fygar, which was very solid in point of garrison. And after this, we was having, what was the name? Margaret Zeta. Margaret Zeta broke the whole game back in the days. And that was a moment where decent amount of people start opening, I think at Generation 2, at the end when the mages was presented, Bertrand Toher, a lot of people start opening tier 5. And including myself. A lot of people start opening tier 5. And people was wondering which is going to be the first troop I'm going to open. Why I'm saying that is because when you open one troop, you need, I don't know how many days, I think 150 days or maybe 100 plus days to open the second tier 5 troop. So when you open your first tier 5 troop, it is basically deciding in which direction you're going to go. Because if you finish all of your speed ups and you open a single tier 5 troop, you're going to play with this tier 5 troop. You're not going to play with your tier 4 mages when you open tier 5 marksmans. And I think at this point a lot of people just jump over the marksmans, and with the time the game present after the end of Generation 2, the first heroes was Margaret Zeta. The game actually presents these heroes. On top of that, they present Long Range Warfare, and even Kinara Nico was making crazy amount of merits, and we end up with absolutely solid heroes like Margaret Zeta. And a lot of marksmen was extremely happy back in the days. It is what it is. This is what actually happened back in the days. And right now, people, after playing, you know, from Generation 3 till these days, to the end of Generation 4 and the beginning of Generation 5, in Call of Dragons, a lot of people start actually understanding that by seeing Yun Ming and the performance this hero is doing, they start thinking over, should I actually go for mages? And yeah, that's why I get a lot of asking, yo, what is the steps I can do to go from marksman to mage and etc. Just people see the real power of mages. It's not only counting on the heroes that you're having at the end of the day, it's also counting over the troops that you're having and what possibility these troops is giving to you, because the majority of the things is actually coming from the troops. It's not coming from your heroes. For example, cavalry troops is giving you this 100% instant rage. It's not the heroes that you're having that is giving, you know, this crazy rage regeneration. I really don't want to hit this little guy here. Okay, people are going to start hitting. I'm going to start hitting right now. So yeah, a lot of marksmen start switching to mages. I don't know what the game can do in this direction for the marksmen, because the main issue with the marksmen is this medium range. They try to somehow, you know, make some difference there, make some switch, but with the Long Range Warfare. But a lot of people was not that happy, especially with the latest, how to say, Long Range Warfare updates, where you basically get extra 5% reduction of the base stats. Back in the days was only 15% reduction and you get the very far range. right now is 20% reduction of the base stats. And for the people who think this is not that much, this is on your base stats. So every buff you're getting is not is not increasing your attack. What I mean by that is if you take out 5% from the base stats that get increased with percentage that you're having, it's just way less. It's just way less. Oh my god, somebody actually strike my Lilia. I should actually reduce the this is Nea Mea blah blah blah. Okay. Yeah, I get catched out of guard at the end of the day, and that's why I hear more and more people want to go on the mage side, which I don't think is that bad. It's bad if you don't have infantry. Whatever you're doing, if you don't have some kind of infantry, is very, very bad. But it is what it is, guys. I mean, look at this guy trying to somehow sneak around the rest of the troops here. I'm going to just, oh my god, Skogo. Here is the thing with the awakening Skogo. It's a very good awakening Skogo, but it requires so much investment. This extra 10% counter attack. I don't know, maybe for how to say it, for cavalry maybe it's going to be good, and for infantry it's going to be good at the end of the day. Oh my god, they actually end up to have so many infantry, by the way. Oh my god, I have to run away. And this Kuma, no joke, whenever I look, I see Kuma or Goresh with Kuma. 100% sure this is a Goresh with Kuma. It's not just Goresh. I'm also running Goresh and Kuma, and to be fair, even though that these heroes are not awakened, I'm actually making pretty solid, very solid merits and ratio severely wounded on the enemy side and my side. And for some reason, for the melee units, the more severely wounded you're having, the more merits you actually make, by the way. In the future, I plan for my cavalry to be something like 3 cavalry, 1 infantry, because I don't have artifacts for my 4 cavalry legions. Maybe it's going to something like Skogo. But yeah, right now the majority of the people are making crazy merits just by sending 1 infantry legion on the battlefield. Yeah, look at these marksmen right now. Those marksmen is just so dead. And if they want to get some juicy hits over some troop, they have to get a little more closer to my mages or some other alliance mages and actually make some hits there, so they can, do some crazy damage and fill their pocket with merits. Till the mages, they can escape. Look at this mage. They can actually escape pretty easy, having the very far range. And I think this is one of the main reasons why the game didn't focus that much over the mages. The infantry get ironclad. This is range damage, range damage reduction. The cavalry gets this violence, which is increasing the damage they're doing and reducing the damage they're taking when they do the charge. Marksmen, I don't remember what they actually make for the marksmen. If I put aside the Long Range Warfare, I don't think actually the game do that much over the marksmen. And yeah, nothing for the mages, by the way. Not even something like Long Range Warfare. So yeah, I think this is maybe one of the biggest issues for the marksmen. What? New player here. I'm watching all of your guides before playing, but I'm new. Does this game take a lot of time out of your day? I have office job, so I can work in multiple times. In majority of the cases, Schindler. In majority of the cases, it don't take that much time. Oh my god, they're going to destroy my legions. Run, Forest, run! In majority of the cases, there is a specific moment where you want to be online. If you're all day, oh my god, okay. If you're want to play whole day, you can do it, but in majority of the cases there is just specific moments where you have to be online. At least this is how I do it. When the gate open, when there is support though. If you want to be in the top competitive alliances, obviously it's not going to fit very well there, just because they're expecting you non-stop to be there. And obviously I'm also working, you know. I'm not still that, but I'm also working. So I totally understand your concerns, and as you can see, I go to work, I have the time to do some fightings, and I have time to make videos not only for Call of Dragons. So yeah, I hope this answered the question. But sometimes hard to play for hours and hours at a time. Yeah, I understand. Here is the thing, the game actually make gate openings at Sunday, Saturday, I mean around these hours. So, you know, so the players can, you know, be free when this huge event is going to happen. In my case, since it's going to open at Monday, is very bad. But yeah, the majority of the cases is around the weekend where everything is opening. So I really hope this thing answer your question. You're going to have time for the important moment. I'm also with office job, so you know I can also afford to be, how to say it, to be at the time if it's needed. But yeah, it's not that much time. If you have farms, it's getting a little more complicated. But if you want to play more, you know, more normally, not try hard, it's not going to be that much time. So yeah, backing over the marksmans, I really think and I really believe that the game should make something in the marksman's direction. At the beginning, they actually make something. When Call of Dragons was launched, they know the marksmans was going to have this issue. 100%. That's why they make the marksmans with the biggest attack in Call of Dragons. But with the time, you know, the heroes, there is a power creep going on over the heroes. The new heroes is one idea better from the old one, and etc. So I think that I don't know what can be done in this direction. It's just something on top of my head that I'm saying, but yeah, I maybe some extra damage against infantry. So people use marksmen against infantry, something that they do right now. So yeah, this is my two cents over the marksmen right now in Call of Dragons. It is what it is, guys. I mean, mages is the way. This is the way.